So today, we're going to decode a project called My AI. But listen, this is way more than just another AI tool. We're actually looking at a really powerful philosophy about software architecture, one that could totally change how you think about building with AI.
Okay, for all you developers watching, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt trapped by your own code? You build this whole system around one specific AI provider, and then suddenly the idea of swapping it out for something new feels, well, impossible. Your whole code base just feels rigid and fragile.
And that really brings us to this killer quote from the source material. It turns out the real trap isn't the AI model you choose. Nope, it's the architecture you build around it. That's the real cage. All right, first up, let's really dig into this idea of the AI architecture trap, because it's the very problem that a project like My AI is designed to help you completely sidestep. So here's the deal, right? The problem is what we call architectural lock-in. When you tie your application directly to a specific company's SDK, you're basically handcuffing yourself. Your choices today are chaining you down, limiting all your options for tomorrow. And in the world of AI, where some mind-blowing new model can just drop overnight, that kind of inflexibility can make your system brittle and a nightmare to adapt. So, how do we break free? Well, let's meet My AI. And it's important to know, this isn't the solution itself. Think of it more like a playground, a really practical, hands-on demonstration of the philosophy that can actually set you free. Yeah, the official definition really says it all. You gotta pay attention to those keywords, playground and consumer. This thing is not another framework or some new SDK. It's a super lightweight layer that sits on top of and uses a totally separate, protected, and provider-agnostic AI core. So what is this thing actually for? Well, it wears a few different hats. It's a safe place to experiment, a reference example for other developers, a dead simple library, and even just a handy little command line tool for quick chats. It's all about showing a better way to build. Okay, this next part is the big aha moment. It's the whole philosophy in a nutshell, the core versus the consumer. Getting this distinction is, well, it's everything. The whole idea is beautifully simple, really. You have a stable, protected core that handles all the important, complex logic, and then you have these lightweight, maybe even disposable consumers that use that core. You know what it's like? It's like a professional camera. The camera body is your lockdown, stable core. The lenses? Those are your consumers. You can swap them out, try new ones, heck, even throw one away if it doesn't work for you. All without ever touching the precious core. And look, getting this separation right is absolutely critical. My AI is a consumer. It's that CLI tool, it's that reference example, that tiny library for messing around. But what it is not is a core system. It's not a framework, it's not an SDK, and it's definitely not something you should build your mission-critical systems directly on top of. It's literally designed to be disposable. And just look at how the dependencies flow here. It's a strict one-way street. Down at the very bottom, you've got AI core, which depends on absolutely nothing. Then AI core CLI depends on the core. And finally, way up top, My AI depends on that CLI layer. The core has zero idea that the consumers even exist. And that right there is what protects it from change. Okay, so that's the big idea, the philosophy. But how does it actually work in practice? Let's get into the nuts and bolts. This is where the magic happens. Seriously, the configuration is 100% driven by environment variables. There are no hard-coded providers anywhere in the code. You just define your provider, say Alama, and the model you want to use, right in a simple text file. This means you can switch from a local model on your laptop to a giant cloud-based one without changing a single line of your application code. The core just reads the config and takes care of it. That's what being provider-agnostic is all about. And getting started, it could not be easier. From your terminal, you literally just type My AI chat. And boom, you're in a live chat session. It's just a super simple, no-fuss way to test out the core and play around with whatever model you have configured. Now, if you want to use it as a library in your own code, the API is, well, it's almost laughably simple, and that's on purpose. This is it. Chat session is the one and only public API you need to know about. This extreme minimalism is a feature, not a bug. It forces that clean separation and stops you from accidentally relying on the messy, unstable guts of the consumer. All right, let's zoom back out for a second. My AI isn't just about this one cool project. It's a living example of a much more resilient and, frankly, smarter philosophy for building software, especially in the chaotic, fast-moving world of AI.
So this whole philosophy really boils down to 3 simple rules. 1, all your big decisions, your core business logic, that stuff lives in a protected, locked-down core. 2, adapters are what handle the messy details of talking to the outside world. And 3, the consumers, the actual apps that people use, they should always be simple, lightweight, and totally replaceable.
And the payoff for thinking this way? Oh, it's huge. You start creating systems that are incredibly flexible and future-proof. Your most important code, your core, is shielded from all the chaos of changing APIs and models. It gives you stability right where you need it, and total freedom everywhere else. So I want to leave you with a question, a little thought experiment. We're all taught to build code that lasts forever, right? But what if we flipped that idea on its head? What if the code that actually interacts with the outside world, your consumer applications, what if that code was intentionally designed from day one to be thrown away? How would that change the way you build?